Hey babes, welcome to Gore&Gossip. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Nicole, and this is your weekly deep dive into all things terrifying, true crime cases, cold-blooded killers, and the occasional creepy conspiracy.
Plus, haunted dolls, cursed mirrors, and that one time your aunt swore her house was built on a portal to the underworld.
If it's bloody, bizarre, or just plain bone-chilling, we're talking about it.
And yes, we're bringing the gossip too, because what's a murder without a little side-eye?
So lock the doors, light a candle,
and let's get into it. I am so excited for this episode.
Yes, me too.
I'm so excited. So this week we're talking about the infamous and disgusting paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine. Ed and Lorraine Warren. Lorraine is
rubbed off on you.
Just a little bit. It's okay. So this pair is famously portrayed now by Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson in the Conjuring universe film franchise. Have you seen any of those films, Nicole?
Yeah, I've seen most of them. The first one is my favorite. I think it's the best one, and really, to me, the only good one. I think I liked the second or third one a little bit, or I do like them, but all of the spin-offs I don't like. Like The Nun, I hated.
I thought The Nun was silly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It was so bad.
It was so bad. And the first one is what I always go back to during Halloween. I'm like, we have to watch that one. The second one I can do a little bit without, but the first one I'll never forget watching it and getting scared.
Is the second one the one where they're in London with the okay, yeah.
Yes.
That's the one I didn't really.
Yeah, with the little play toy. Yeah. But the pair, the real Ed and Lorraine Warren, they're kind of two people that are speculated to be fraudsters, and also to make the cases that they investigated worse. So
yeah.
They were originally from Connecticut and claimed they were dedicated to the occult. They spent most of their lives investigating spirits, demons, and witches. But were they all true or just a way to get a quick buck? Ed claimed it was all true, saying, "It's not just a bunch of fairy tales. These things are happening right here. Everyone has experienced one form of supernatural activity or another." And apparently for Ed, his interest in the paranormal all began when he came face to face with his first ghost. Ed claims he experienced his first haunting at the age of 5 when his family moved into a haunted home in Bridgeport, Connecticut. His father was a devout Catholic and Connecticut state trooper, and he never believed in the paranormal until each member of Ed's family experienced the paranormal. I tried to get more information about that, but what they claim, I'm sure it was the typical door slamming, hearing voices, seeing spirits, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Interesting that his father was a devout, Catholic and didn't believe, and then all of a sudden did. I wonder what really happened to make him change his mind, because my dad was also a Catholic. I mean, I was raised Catholic, and he did not believe in ghosts at all.
Same with my parents. They didn't believe with ghosts at all until we moved into our childhood home, and then they believed it, and that we had the blessing and everything done to the home.
My mom did. I mean, she still does believe in some stuff, but not anything crazy. But my dad never did.
Oh, what a lovely man to not have to come to face with.
I know, right? No fear of it at all.
No fear. So from Ed's first experience, he became a self-taught and self-professed demonologist, meaning that he studies the demons that are mentioned in the Bible and other books, an author, and also lecturer. Lorraine claimed to be a clairvoyant and a light trance medium. A clairvoyant is someone who is able to perceive information beyond the human senses, sometimes called a second sight or extrasensory perception. And a light trance medium is someone who's in a light trance, so not completely hypnotized or completely not here in the room with you, and able to communicate with spirits. So she would communicate with them without having to be completely focused,
right.
and that. So Lorraine and Ed would show up to homes that they saw in newspapers and would even receive calls for help with demons. And side by side, the couple founded the New England Society for Psychic Research. Side by
I mean, I
side.
might as well be psychotic.
I mean, it was probably a Freudian slip there.
Oh.
Also called Nesper. And it's the oldest ghost hunting group in New England. They claim to investigate over 10,000 cases during their career. How crazy. 10,000 cases.
Their career was like... Wow. Okay. Well, I'm not really going to say much on that.
I mean, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay. Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah. So one of the most probably like infamous cases that they were a part of was with the Amityville Horror or the Amityville Haunting.
Yes.
One of my favorite movies actually has Ryan Reynolds portraying sorry not to laugh, but the Lutz family, like the Lutz family dad.
Yeah, fun fact that I think the first one was filmed near my hometown.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
Yeah,
so like
part of it was or something like that. I
like
forget,
the
yeah.
60s, the like original one?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was that one. It was filmed like near my hometown.
Wow. Okay. Mm-hmm. Fun fact. Love that. Mm-hmm. So it's a good movie, but also a case that was a quick money grab for folks. In 1974, Ronald DeFeo killed his parents and 4 siblings on November 13th. The following year, the Lutz family moved into the home after getting it for a steep discount, only for them to flee the home after 28 days, claiming the paranormal activity was too much to handle.
I don't care how steep a discount is. I'm not moving into a house that I know, like, recently somebody was murdered. Like I'm not, so I know somebody who bought a house like a couple years after somebody was murdered in their home, and the crime scene people did a really shoddy job of fixing part of the wall, and their house freaks me out so bad. Like I don't care how big of a discount it is. I'm not buying it. It's not happening.
No. And luckily now realtors have to tell you if someone was killed in that home within a certain amount of time.
Yep.
But I don't think I could do that, especially with how horrific that was. No, thank you. No. I don't care how cheap it is. I would also flee within 28 days as well. Like, no. So the Lutz family then wrote the book Amityville Horror. And that's when Ed and Lorraine Warren began to investigate the home and even took an infamous photo of the Amityville ghost. You know, the little boy peeking around the corner by the stairwell. Mm-hmm. But it came to light that the Lutz family and William Weber, the first author that the Lutz approached,
I really rubbed off on you,
orchestrated the whole story for profit.
Which is crazy.
Are you kidding me? So you take this horrific murder that happened in your home and you're like, let's just get some money for it. No.
The things that people will do.
Absolutely not. It's just so
blow
crazy.
My mind.
It's so crazy.
Blows my mind.
Blows my mind too. Another investigation that they did that's pretty notable and kind of created my fear of dolls. Includes our favorite haunted doll, which we have mentioned in prior episodes, Annabelle. The haunted Raggedy Ann doll came into their possession, according to the Warrens, in 1970, when 2 roommates came to them claiming their doll was possessed by a spirit of a young girl named Annabelle Higgins. The girls claimed that the doll would move by itself and sometimes even leave lashings on them, scratches. The Warrens took the doll and told the roommates they were being manipulated by an inhuman presence. They then locked the doll away in their occult museum in Monroe, Connecticut, and over time the Warrens claimed the doll could inflict slashes that drew blood from victims. A priest who insulted the doll, apparently ran his car into a tree and stabbed a homicide detective, forcing him into early retirement after facing the doll.
No.
I know.
Apparently you have to wear like special gloves to like handle her. I'm not holding or touching anything
I'm
that
not
I have to
touching
wear
her.
special gloves for.
No. Anytime that there's
No.
like a haunted doll that you can meet, I'm like,
No.
no, thank you. I'll pass on
So
that.
my first introduction to Annabelle was the Conjuring movie. I had never like really known about it prior to that. So obviously I didn't know that it was Raggedy Ann doll. When I tell you how scared I was of anything Raggedy Ann after that.
And like the crazy thing is that my mom had
Oh
the
no.
Raggedy Ann and
No.
the boy one. I don't remember their names.
I don't
And
remember either.
I first remember hearing about this from Tumblr back in
Tumblr.
2011.
Whoa, flashback.
And I was like, Mom, you have to get rid of those dolls. I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
no.
Can you please not showcase them? And so she
No.
hid them away. But
I don't even remember. So Raggedy Ann was like before, like a little before like our time. So like I
yeah,
don't
like a
remember
decade
it
or
like,
two.
yeah, so like I don't remember it really that much, but I have older siblings, so like my sister obviously did, and my brother I think a little bit, but I don't remember us like ever owning a doll. And if we did, like I have zero recollection of it. I will never own one in my life. That's a hard no for me. No thanks.
Yeah, no, thank you. So let's flash forward to 2025. The Warrens' estate promoted online reports that Annabelle had disappeared as part of a viral marketing campaign for a tour called Devils on the Run, showcasing all the items from the Warrens' occult museum. And the director of Nesper now says that the doll was never missing. We had just taken the doll on a brief tour to several locations so paranormal enthusiasts could witness the real Annabelle.
So they literally just marketed that she was missing and made all these false stories so that they could bring, attention to their tour.
But if you do recall when she made a stop, I want to say in Pittsburgh or Philadelphia,
Something like that.
Their 911 dispatch for that area was down during the whole time that she was in town for that tour.
Well, and wasn't she like she was in Texas or near Texas, like right before all of that,
the flooding and stuff, right?
Yeah,
I
think so.
So, no, thank you. You can get Annabelle the frick away.
Listen, it can be a coincidence once, but when it happens twice, something's happening.
Back in the box.
Yes. Yeah. She obviously wants to go home, guys. Put her back.
Put her back. Bring her back. And just in July, the Devils on the Run tour organizer and host Dan Riviera died in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And Riviera had been the lead promoter of the tour and produced the videos of Annabelle on TikTok.
Mysteriously, might I add. I think it was a report that came out now about like what happened. I think they said it was like heart problems or something like that. But I mean, for a guy who seemingly was healthy, you never know. You never truly know, because again, like my dad passed from who was very healthy from something that like we never would have known. But I mean, it's just a little sketchy.
It's a little suspect, especially because she caused someone to run off the road and then become a homicidal maniac.
Allegedly.
Just crazy. And this next one we already talked about, but it's still insane to me, and I'm not okay with it. It was confirmed just this month that comedian Matt Rife had purchased the Warrens' home in a cult museum in Monroe, Connecticut. The purchase included becoming the legal guardian of the entire haunted collection, including the Annabelle doll, for at least the next 5 years.
Yeah, he bought it with his friend Elton Castee, who is a YouTuber, and he's a ghost hunter. So apparently Matt is just like this is like I think in something I read like yesterday, he called it like one of his like weirdest like side hobby or like whatever, or interest or whatever it was that he said. And I was like,
sure, Matt, okay. Now he's also just like, I don't like Matt after a few allegations have came out. I've never liked him. I didn't really think that he was that funny either.
Same.
But really weird that this man is now going to be able to own that property. And why would
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, so he owns the property, but he doesn't own the artifacts. He's
Yeah.
only the legal guardian of them for like the next 5 years, like you said. And he actually bought it from Ed and Lorraine's daughter and her husband,
Mm-hmm.
who I also read, just really quick, wanted to throw this in here for you. I read that apparently they were having a really hard time with the neighbors and like districting in the area of them being able to like give tours and stuff in the house. So I'm really interested to see how Matt thinks he's going to overcome this. I mean, I know he said that he's going to do like overnight, like bed and I guess like a bed and breakfast kind of thing, and like let people that are staying overnight like do tours. But if the previous owners had been having a really hard time, you know, if what's her name? Her name's Judy, I think it is, their
Yeah,
daughter.
Judith. Yeah.
Yeah, and her husband Tony, I guess, if they were having a hard time, it's going to be really interesting to see how he thinks he's going to do it.
You could probably do something along the lines of like an Airbnb where you don't need like a license for it.
Yeah.
And then,
well, I think that's his plan. I think his plan is to like kind of just like let some like, you know, rent it out of a sorts to let people stay there so that they can explore. But that's going to be really interesting to see. Like, hopefully nothing happens to that museum and they take proper precautions when letting people stay overnight and go and look. So I'm very interested to see that how that pans out.
I am too. Maybe we should take a field trip over there. Let's see.
Maybe not.
I mean, we don't have to go in the museum. We could just like take a look-see outside of it.
Listen, I'll admit I'm scared. I don't want anything following me home.
I got holy oil. We're good, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So the next case is probably the one that we all know, is the Perron family. It's the inspiration for the 2013 film The Conjuring. The Warrens claim that the Harrisville, Rhode Island home the Perrons owned was haunted by a witch who had lived there in the 19th century named Bathsheba Sherman. The Warrens claim that Bathsheba sacrificed her baby son to the devil, and after that cursed the land so whoever lived there somehow died a terrible death. But researchers tried to look for trial records, newspaper articles, because that would obviously be in the newspaper, that story. And it wasn't in any of the local papers or in courthouse documents. So, and Bathsheba was actually a lifelong member of the Baptist Church, and the minister even oversaw her funeral. And get this, Bathsheba never lived at the Perrons' residence. She lived,
of course not,
a good 20 minutes away from where they lived.
20 minutes? Wow.
Like 20 minutes away.
Listen, I love a good like old ghost story of talking about like,
Totally.
oh, this spooky witch, you know, like curse the land, but like to completely like put somebody in the space who didn't actually
Who's also long gone now. So like
Yeah.
you don't want to like curse her name or spit on her grave like that.
Right,
Like, I'm
right.
sorry. So Bathsheba Sherman was not a demon, a child murderer, or even a witch or worshiper of Satan. Based on facts, she appears to have lived a fairly average life as a hardworking farmer's wife. And sadly, The Conjuring smeared her memory with unfounded accusations. Her grave and headstone have even been targeted by vandals for years. And Carolyn and Andrea Perron are to blame, the two daughters.
That's horrible.
Who profited off of this, making books and being part of the movie deal as well.
I mean, so it's crazy to me because like, where did they get this from? Like, was their house obviously must have been haunted to some degree.
It
but
was, but
the fact that they were willing to blame this like random woman, like I just want to know like what made them want to pick her.
I think it was just like an easy thing to say. And Bathsheba,
I mean, I was just going to say that
is a different kind of name, so they were just like, oh, that's a creepy witchy name.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they just decided to go for it. I mean, that's so horrible.
It is. It's awful. And it still continues. So now time for the Enfield poltergeist, which is the Conjuring 2 family. In 1977, the Warrens investigated claims that a family in North London suburb of Enfield were haunted by poltergeist activity. While a number of independent observers dismissed the incident as a hoax carried out by attention-hungry children, the Warrens were convinced that it was a case of demonic possession. The story was the inspiration for The Conjuring 2, and although critics say the Warrens were involved to a far lesser degree than portrayed in the movie, in fact, the couple had shown up to the scene uninvited. They were consequently refused admittance into the home.
Rightfully so.
Seriously, because they already had someone there to investigate for them, which was Guy Lyon Playfair, a parapsychologist who investigated the Enfield case alongside Maurice Grosse. Also says the film greatly exaggerated the Warrens' role in the investigation. He stated that in 2016 that they turned up once and that Ed Warren told Playfair the Warrens could make a lot of money out of the case. He corroborated on the claim that the Warrens were not invited to the Enfield house and said that nobody in the family had even heard of him until Ed showed up.
Ooh,
mic drop.
What a blow.
Mic drop.
What an ego blow that was. That's probably why they were like, put us in this movie.
Yes, we need this.
Yeah.
The other infamous case, The Devil Made Me Do It.
This is the one that I was talking about in our intro episode. I couldn't remember the name of it, but this was the one that I was talking about.
This one's crazy because I feel for the guy, but what happened is just uncalled for.
It's absolutely horrible what happens.
It is. Arnie Johnson became possessed by a demon following a visit by Ed and Lorraine Warren. They had come to the Glatsville home. Glatzel.
I think it's Glatzel.
They had come to the Glatzel family home and successfully removed a demon that had possessed the younger child, David Glatzel. Arnie was a family friend who attended the exorcism with the family, and following the event, Arnie killed his landlord and attempted to use demonic possession as a legal defense, and this did not fly in court, and Arnie was found guilty of the crime. But according to the brother Carl, Ed and Lorraine Warren coached his mother into believing that David was possessed by describing what a possession was in front of David, causing him to mimic the actions. Like, I coaching the mom, kind of making her feel like something is wrong with her child, and then the child being like, ooh, possession.
Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't help that, so that's like a whole thing, but then with Arnie, they like were involved in his like they coached him on what to say, and like to like say that it was demonic possession, like claim insanity or whatever, and like they just were they made this entire situation like essentially like it was already really bad. They made it like 10 times worse than it really needed to be when you think about it.
And also that got their name out there as well, because
it pushed them even farther into the spotlight.
Arnie mentioned that he was there in an exorcism with Ed and Lorraine. And it's just horrific. So after Arnie murdered his landlord, the Glatzels were thrown into the spotlight. And according to David, Ed and Lorraine talked his mother into signing a book deal with them for less than $5,000.
Crazy.
And the author of the book was told by Ed to, quote, make it scary. People come to us. They buy scary.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, people love scary. They want it. They buy it. But like, you guys are such pieces of shit that you profited off of an innocent family and then profit off of a man. I think it was, I can't remember exactly, and maybe we should like do a deep dive into like the Arnie case, but like I think something like happened to him. Like I think he like snapped. Like it wasn't just like
something happened.
Like something happened with Arnie for him to like murder his landlord. I can't remember the exact story of what happened, but and then they just profited off of that because they were like, oh well, you were there, you were at it took over you now. It possessed you.
Like, I would love to do a deep dive into that, especially just because it was the first case of demonic possession trying to be used as an excuse in court. So we'll do a deep dive.
Yeah, definitely want to do a deep dive in that. And then I think we definitely, while we're on the topic of it, should definitely talk more about like cases of demonic possession in court. I think that would be
I would love to do that. Let's do it. Episode idea. Perfect. Great. Adding it to the list. So clearly, Ed and Lorraine like things more than just spirits, demons, and ghosts. They like that moolah, that money, honey. And this is kind of where it comes out. In 1986, Ed and Lorraine Warren arrived and proclaimed that the Snedeker home, a former funeral home, to be infested with demons. The case was featured in the 1993 book, In a Dark Place, the story of a true haunting. A TV film that later became a part of the Discovery Channel series, A Haunting, was produced in 2002.
Love that show.
It's my favorite. What got me into ghosts. The Haunting in Connecticut film is based on the Warrens' versions of events and was directed by Peter Cornwell and was released in 2009. Okay?
That was my first ever scary movie that I saw in theaters. I can't remember how old I was at that time, but I know that was the first ever scary movie that I saw in theaters. It was released in 2009, so let's see. How old was I in 2009?
Is this the one with, or am I thinking of the second one? Where, like, there's, like, things coming out of his mouth and the...
Oh, nope. I think it's that one. Oh, I did that wrong.
No, you're totally fine.
I'm, like, doing math. And because I was 12. Oh, so this was, like, around the same time as the Jasmine Fiore case that we just talked about. It came out. Okay, yeah, so I was 12. So this was, like, I was seeing all of the things at this time.
Seriously.
But yeah, that was my first, like, ever, I think, scary movie in theaters that I went to go see with one of my friends at the time. And it got me hooked. I loved it.
And back when they made horror movies PG-13.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyone could watch them.
Yeah.
So not only did they have a movie, TV series, book, but horror author Ray Garton, who wrote an account of the alleged haunting of the Snedeker family in Southington, Connecticut, later called on to question the veracity of the accounts contained in his book, saying the family involved, which was going through some serious problems like alcoholism and drug addiction, could not keep their story straight, and I became very frustrated. It's hard writing a nonfiction book when all the people involved are telling you different stories.
That is really hard.
And he was speaking to Benjamin Radford. Garton said of Lorraine, if she told me the sun would come up tomorrow, I'd get a second opinion.
Me too.
I would too. I mean, her hair is full of secrets.
Oh my God.
So big. It's full of secrets.
Yep. And she packs away everything.
Literally. Yes. Okay, so I slightly skimmed over the fact that the Conjuring universe made a crap load of money.
Oh yeah.
The Conjuring,
they're still going.
They're still going. There's one coming out later this month.
Yeah, which I'm definitely not gonna see.
No, definitely not. No,
I'm so over it at this point.
So done. The Conjuring universe is the highest grossing horror franchise in history.
That's crazy.
The 3 main movies and their 5 spin-offs made $2.1 billion worldwide.
That's a lot of money.
And they all had a budget combined $208 million for all of those movies.
Oh, that's combined?
Combined.
Wow.
They didn't have that much money. I mean,
yeah, especially when the first one came out. And I think that's what made the first one so good.
Was that practical.
Like, yeah. Like, it wasn't like, obviously they had a decent budget. It wasn't crazy. It wasn't over the top. But like, I think that's what made that one good. And then they just, they tried again for the second one. And I think the story just like wasn't as good because it just, I don't know.
It just wasn't. And it felt like they were trying to create like the timeline of things to go.
That was the biggest thing to me, was that they had tried to create this like whole story of like timeline of events throughout all of these movies about like Ed and Lorraine and like try to connect everything. And
Yeah.
like while it kind of does, it also didn't like at the same time there was like a backstory of like what is it, like Annabelle or one of like something like
Yeah.
trying to like get to like their daughter at the same time and like her like harassing
Just
Lorraine.
like,
And I'm just like, what a way to like try to connect everything.
and I'm just like,
What a way.
this, can we just focus on the family? Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to, I'm sorry, Judith. I don't care. Your parents decided that you needed to be housed next to their cult museum.
Yep.
It's on them.
Yeah, very much so. And again, I think, like I said, I think that's what made the first one so good was that
Yeah.
like there was a little bit of that backstory in there, but it wasn't that much. It was all about like what happened at this house, kind of like the way like the haunting in Connecticut was. It was all
Yeah.
just about that.
Mm-hmm.
So when they tried to connect everything further after that, especially in The Nun, which is to me is their worst one.
We're
Did you
serious.
I have to like really like dive into this for a second because it just really irritates me. So
Go
that
for
whole
it.
movie, you like you don't see the nun at first,
Mm-mm.
and then when they finally show her, this is what I think I hate. I think I like when movies don't show the face of like whatever it is because they never get it right. They never get it scary enough. So when they actually show whatever the face is, it's not scary because they try to overdo it and then they make it look way too theatrical. It's way too like Hollywood. And like it's not like give me just like a normal like if you had given me like the normal face of like a nun and like made her make like creepy like of a dead nun and made her like have just make creepy smiling faces, I would have thought that that was more scary than
Yes.
like whatever that shit was that you gave me
And
like
then
in that movie.
and that the whole storyline just doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Of that, it was like a bad man that dressed up as a nun to get into the convent to kill other nuns and
No.
sacrifice them. I'm like, that is too much. Too much.
No.
And I should have done more research if that was like legitimate or not, but like
I don't know. I
I
honestly
think it
just
was
took
one
it
of
as like
theirs.
something that they just like did a spin-off of and they
Yeah.
like I didn't take that as something that was like an actual thing. I took that as just like, oh, here, like we're gonna talk about this now and like make it a thing and like we're just gonna make a scary movie out of it and like that's great. Love that for you. You didn't do a good job though.
Terrible job. And it
I
all
was
ended in
yeah,
a
like we were excited to see it. Like we wanted to go and like when we
yeah.
saw it I was like, "No, that was terrible." I have a really hard time like with horror movies like actually being good to me.
I agree.
And so like I think The Conjuring the first one like kind of was like my peak and like now everything is compared to that
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like any like what are those and what are those movies where like it has to do with like sleep paralysis essentially like where you go into like the
Oh, Insidious.
yeah, I hate those movies. I
Me
think they're
too.
trash. I thought the first one was so funny. I saw the second one and also thought it was
Tiptoe
funny. Yeah.
through the window. He's like
I thought
prancing around the dining
yeah.
room table. Like, I'm like, this is
The
hilarious.
first one I watched it with my friend and she was scared the whole time and I was laughing making fun of it because I thought it was ridiculous. And then the second one I was like this is also stupid and then more came out. My brother's like there's a third one. I'm like I'm not watching it because they're trash. I'm sorry if you like it. If you like it that's great. I'm happy for you, but it's just not for me. I think they were just trash.
Yeah, I agree. I think they made 4.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
got
so.
weird. It got very
Yeah.
like skeleton key like
Yeah,
at
I
the end.
remember
So
like seeing bits and pieces, I think like on TV or something of one of like the third or the fourth or whatever. And or maybe Dag watched it, I can't remember, but because like he would still watch them regardless, but I was just like I have fun.
yeah,
If you enjoy them for what they are, and that's so great. I'm so happy for you. And if you think it's scary, that's great. Again, like I
so
love
happy
that
you
for
like
you, but
that.
it's just it wasn't for me. I don't know. I have a weird standard because it's weird to me because I also find other movies. Sorry to go on like such a long rant about this, but I'll have other movies like which really aren't that scary, and I'll think that they're really scary. I don't know. I have a weird standard for what I think is scary and what it's not.
Okay, final question. What is one movie that's not considered horror that you think is really scary?
Not considered horror that is really scary. Oh,
Or is it like a horror movie that people like don't think is
Yeah,
scary
it
that
would be
you
like
think
a
is
horror
scary?
movie, that thing. So for me, it would probably be something that like I saw when I was like a kid that I think is really scary. So like, okay, here we go. Like the Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay,
Oh,
those really aren't scary, but I
no.
saw them when I was a kid. So like to me those are scary. Or like I actually have this really funny story about the boogeyman. The boogeyman, my sister's going to kill me for telling this story. So the boogeyman movies I don't like um because when I was a kid,
Oh.
my sister would quote unquote lock me in the closet. She didn't. She would just put me in the we shared a room before we moved into like the house that my mom still lives in, and she would put me in the closet when I was being really annoying and do like older sibling things and tell me the boogeyman was gonna get me, and she would sit in front of it for like maybe 30 seconds to like think that I was locked in there, and I would freak out, and then she would move and I would still think that I was stuck in there and I wasn't. So then I blame her for being afraid of those movies. I refuse. I watched it one time with my friend and I was like, I hate this so much.
Was it the one that's made in 2005?
I think it was, yeah.
I
And
think
when I think back to it now, I'm like, that was really trash, but I won't ever watch it again.
But I think it did something to Danielle too, because she hates our closet being open at night. Like, because it's one of the sliding ones.
Yeah.
So she always makes me shut my closet.
Closets either have to be completely open for me, especially if they're like an accordion, or if it's like a regular door or something, they have to be closed. And it always has to be like that at night or like during the day. Like if this is the way it is, this is the way it has to be, unless I'm going in and out of it.
I'm really bad. I forget to close it like when I get dressed. I'm like,
this is the way. So Dag will do the same thing. So we have like a walk-in closet, like a really small one, but it's a walk-in. And when he goes in there to get something for like his work shirt or something, if I hung it up in there, he'll go in there and he'll leave it open, and then I'll text him and I'll be like, did you leave the door open? And he's like, yeah, well, who else would, like, what else would
who else?
And I'm like, you have to close it. It has to be closed.
Yeah, you don't understand.
And like, it has to be closed.
He's gonna get me.
Yeah,
because of after all those times my sister locked me in the closet.
It really wasn't that many times that she did it, but it was enough that it stuck with me.
Okay,
so I'm sorry for telling that story, but I had to. It's like
it's okay. We know that you're better now, and you wouldn't.
It's all fine. It's all fine. And it was just like sibling, like good fun, and like she really like my mom would like yell at her. I mean, it didn't last that long. Like when it did happen, I vaguely have memories of them. I just know that I'm afraid of the boogeyman now. That's it. That's like it didn't traumatize me other than I'm afraid of the boogeyman. I don't actually have like a big fear of being in a closet or like closets in general. I mean, closets have to be the way that they are and that's it. But I think that's more of just a me thing. I don't think it's from that. Because they don't have to be open. Like it can be closed, but if it's closed, it has to be closed. That's just my thing.
I got it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just really funny. I had to throw that in there really quick.
But yeah,
that would be to me. That would be like those movies. So it would be like a movie that I definitely saw when I was like Scream is another one. I love those movies. I love those movies now. Scary. The first Scary movie. I love that movie now. But as a kid, it was something that was really scary to me because I was super young when I saw them. Again, I had older siblings. I did not have control of the TV. So.
I love that. Let's dive back in, shall we?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Derailed us.
I love the derailing. So this whole line of people saying that they are just money hungry and they're skeptic of them just continues because back in 2015, Norma Sutcliffe and Gerald Helfrich, previous owners of the house which the Perron family lived in, so The Conjuring was based, sued Wan, the director of the movie, Warner Brothers, and other producers because their property was constantly vandalized as a consequence of the film.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It is terrible. And Entertainment Weekly obtained documents in which the owners affirm various invasions and ratify that they found numerous objects affiliated with satanic cults. So
we just like agree that like we shouldn't do that, that like we should not be going to these places, and like actual people live here and like own these homes, and like regardless of what what was like said about them
Mm-hmm.
or what if they are haunted or not. Like, it's not a place for you to go and visit.
Like, it's their it's their private property now.
Right.
So like, leave it alone. Just let the movie be what the movie is. Don't go worshiping Satan on private property. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
No, thank you.
No.
The lawsuit also reveals that the previous owners that bought the house in 1987 lived in peace until 2013. So both owners had been seeking unspecified damages.
Rightfully so.
And when questioned, a spokesperson for Warner Brothers declined to comment on the issue,
Of course.
saying it's your problem now. Sorry. Let me drop my bomb. Ed and Lorraine. Sorry, continue. You have something to say?
No,
Okay.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I was like, Nicole?
No.
Ed and Lorraine are no strangers to skepticism, but multiple investigators have even called out the pair for faking their cases. Allegations that the Warrens were faking their psychic prowess go all the way back to the 1950s. Stephen Novella. Hold on.
Novella?
Yes. Stephen Novella from the New England Society for Psychic Research went on record to say that the Warrens were nothing more than talented storytellers. In a 1997 interview with the Connecticut Post, Steve Novella and Perry DeAngelis, two big skeptics, even founded the New England Skeptical Society, where they would investigate all of these different things to try and find other reasons why someone may consider it a haunting.
Which is literally what ghost hunting
should be.
Yeah,
and like it should be that. You shouldn't be like trying to get some money from helping people. They both said that they found the couple to be pleasant people, but found their claims of demons and ghosts to be, at best, as tellers of meaningless ghost stories, and at worst, dangerous frauds.
Yep.
Just let that sink in. Two people that are skeptics at the beginning went with them to do a tour, and they took the $13 tour to see all of the evidence the Warrens had for ghosts and demons. They watched the best videos, photos, and all of the evidence the Warrens had, and their conclusion, it's all blarney.
Blasphemy.
They found errors with flash photography. So those little like orbs that they claim to be demons
were just error photos.
Were just like dust or bugs.
That's usually what it is.
Yeah. Even saying there was nothing evil in the artifacts the Warrens collected. See, we can go. We'll be fine. Saying
I don't trust it.
They both said that they have a ton of fish stories about evidence that got away. They're not doing good scientific investigations. They have a predetermined conclusion, which they adhere to literally and religiously, which caused Lorraine to clap back, saying the pair don't base anything on a god, only on science.
They don't.
And the
Miss Lorraine the Devout.
The pair said what we found was a very nice couple, some genuinely sincere people, but absolutely no compelling evidence.
So you're gonna say that they're genuinely sincere, but no compelling evidence?
Yeah, they're just good people. They just think that there's something wrong with the people, but there's no evidence for the demons and ghosts.
Okay.
So I wouldn't call them kind and sincere.
No, maybe they present as like a very nice, very nice, but like I would definitely not say that they're genuine or sincere if they're making shit up.
And it just gets worse from here. Okay, so here's a trigger warning. What I'm going to discuss is horrific and definitely could be traumatizing to people, so you can skip forward probably 5 minutes or so. So, in 2017, a bombshell was dropped on any authenticity the Warrens had because the Hollywood Reporter received information that Ed had sexually abused a 15-year-old girl when he was in his 30s.
Gross.
Disgusting.
Gross.
Disgusting. Judith Penny, who was then in her 70s when she came forward, made an official report that Ed had engaged in a relationship with her when she was 15, and Judith claimed Lorraine was aware of the relationship. Disgusting.
Gross.
And according to Judith, she had lived with Ed and Lorraine for 40 years.
Gross. I'm sorry. I feel bad for her.
I feel so awful for her.
Yeah.
But, like, Ed and Lorraine are so disgusting. I don't know. I don't even know how it came to be that she lived with them. I think she was down on her luck and they were like, come live with us. So it's definitely like a grooming situation. And the fact that they are already fraudsters, add this onto their list, and it's like anything that they say is complete bullshit, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So during this time, Judith claimed she had become pregnant with Ed's child. She claims Lorraine baked her to get an abortion, saying, quote, they wanted me to tell everyone that someone had come into my apartment and raped me. And I wouldn't do that. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do, but I had an abortion. The night they picked me up from the hospital after having it, they went out and lectured and left me alone. So after they dropped off this poor girl who got pregnant with nasty Ed's child, dropped her off at a hospital, and they went to go discuss ghosts and demons when really they're the demons.
Yeah. Any validity that they might have had prior to this is out the window. I don't care if they had like seen, like recorded and like a whole ass ghost. It's out the window. It's gone. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's gone.
It's gone. Like, I don't believe any of the shit that they said now, because clearly you're terrible people.
Yeah.
So just like let that sink in a little bit. It's horrific, genuinely. Yep. And I'm not talking about the ghosts and the ghouls. The real monsters were the Warrens, in my opinion.
Yep.
And while I love scary movies, sometimes the scariest things are real life humans.
Yeah.
And that's it for this episode.
Disgusting behavior. And anything that they said is a lie to me now.
Absolutely. After I knew this when the first Conjuring came out, because obviously that report came out about.
So I actually didn't know. I never saw that report. I didn't know about it until probably like a couple of years ago when I had heard about it in I don't remember where I heard it, but yeah, I saw it like a couple of years ago. Yeah, there was something like a couple of years ago, and I remember seeing it, and that's when I found out. I didn't know at all when that came out.
Yeah, it's just so terrible. And I mean,
it is.
There were other investigations that I saw, and I was like, if we talked about every single one, it always comes up with the same conclusion, where there are people to verify what Ed and Lorraine did, and they would say, oh, they're just fraudsters, like this didn't happen. Or saying that were over dramatic about the whole situation.
The Arnie one is probably the worst for me, I feel like. I mean, all of the other ones are bad, but there was an actual like murder involved in that one, and like at present time, while they were involved in this paranormal case already, and they just made the entire situation so much worse. So to me, that's probably the worst one that they have ever done, you know,
and like genuinely fucked up and like inserted themselves into it, and we're like, Arnie, you were possessed, remember? You were possessed, you don't remember anything that happened. So we'll do a deep dive on Arnie Johnson. But thank you so much for listening, guys. So whether it's crime, conspiracy, or just straight up spooky, we're going to keep talking about it. Like, follow, comment, and stay tuned for new episodes each week, because it will just keep getting dark and spookier from here. So stay nosy and stay spooky, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.